All right, we are back. And I'm hoping that your lab warm up already. All right, let's take a look at this lab, okay? So this lab, the scenario is, again, using the select statements to select the information out of the table, but also including the count functions, including using the operator, the greater than, the less than, the equal, the where, the order by, and the logical and, okay? And we still need to connect to the command host and using the session manager to access the database, okay? All right, so let's take a look at what we need to do. So first, we need to go to the command host, which is the EC2. So I'm going to the EC2, running instance. There's only one. Select that. This is just like yesterday. Connect. Yeah, make sure it's under session manager and click connect. All right, I got a prompt. Okay, step number 10. And once again, just like yesterday, we need to do sudo su, which is switch to the root user. And we're gonna change to the home directory for the EC2-user. And I'm just simply do a ls to take a look at what we have. So we have the logs, and we also have the word SQL. That's the file we used yesterday. And we're gonna issue the MySQL this command with the password to log into the database. Okay, so I'm in the database now. Okay, are you guys okay with this? These steps to log in. Thank you, Reallink. Thank you, Mary Carmen. All right, guys, if you're here, please keep your cameras on so we can see you. Otherwise, we don't know whether you are just eating, sleeping, drinking, smoking. All right. So step number 12. So we're gonna do a show database commands to see what we have. So I'm simply just a copy and paste. All right, so there's a information schema, SQL performance, that's not ours. Word, WRLD, that is the database that they created for us already. Okay. And we're gonna select everything from the table called country from Word database. And this is step 13. Again, that is a lot of information. It's a lot of information, difficult to see. Okay. With this time, the step number 14 is we are going to use this count, this function. Let's see what this count function is doing. So this is step 14, to create the number of rows in a table. So you can use this count, this function. Okay, to count all the rows in the table, you can use a count with extra. So basically, this is just telling us how many records in this database. we saw a lot. This is a lot, and it's difficult to see. So, maybe at least we just want to know how many records in there. So once again, this is step number 14. And once again, I'm simply just copy and paste. All right, so I got 239 records or 239 rows, in this table. All right, is that what you're seeing? 239? All right, cool. Yeah, step number 15. All right, so we're going to show all of the columns that in the country table. Okay, we did this yesterday. Okay, once again, copy and paste. All right, so we have a code, continent. All right, now that's been correct. The spelling is correct, region, and so on. Okay. And step number 16, to create the specific, columns in the word table. Okay. And actually, the word database, the table is country. Okay. So we can run this. So we're going to select a name, capital, region, surface area, population from the word.country. So instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 columns, we're only looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns instead of all the 14 columns of the information. Okay, so we're going to select a name, capital, region, surface area, population. And once again, I'm going to do a copy and paste. Okay. So now the data is more organized, easier to see, but still we have 239 of the records. Okay. So once again, we were just looking for 5 columns. Okay. Step number 17. So database columns names are sometimes not user-friendly. Well, this is certainly is not user-friendly. Okay. Okay. And so we can use the S options. All right. So basically, we are changing the headers a little bit to make it more readable. Okay. So select a name, capital, region, surface area. So that is the original the headers or the columns name in the table, but we're gonna display that as a server space area instead of 1 word. We're become 2 words. Okay. And again, I'm gonna copy and paste this. All right, and now I'm gonna scroll all the way up. Okay, and see you have a name, you got capital, you got region. So instead of a service area as 1 word, now it's 2 words. But we did not, once again, we are not changing the column's name. We are simply display the column name differently. Okay, we simply just display this differently. Okay, this is not permanent. Okay, this is not permanent. Once again. All right. All right, the data become easier to look now. All right, then we are move on to the step number 18. And we are introduce this order by. Okay. So we are going to copy and paste. But again, at the end of the command, we have order by populations. Press enter. So if you look at under the populations, okay, so these are in the ascending order. Because once again, we have this order by. Wow, this is some zeros here. Okay, French Southern Territory 0, Hard Islands and the McDonald Islands zeros. British India Oceans Territory zeros. This is really, they are zeros. Bouvet Island, I don't know even, I don't know where this place is. Anybody know there's a B-O-U-V-E-T, Bouvet Island? Anybody heard anything like this before? United States, what, minor outlying island? Yeah, they do have a service area, but they don't have the population data there. All right, it's interesting. All right, let's see which country has the most people. China and India. I'm trying to count how many people. That is millions, and that's billions. So China have a 1.2 billions. India has a 1.0 billions. American only have 278 million people. Yeah, but it's okay because our population is gaining by thousands every day. I saw the news yesterday. This they just buses people from one state to another state. Unbelievable what they're doing. All right, any questions so far or any comments so far? Okay, well, let's just mind our own business right now. All right, so that's step 18, that's step 19. All right, to order the data in descending order, so we're going to use this keyword DESC with order by. Okay, and once again, when you say order by and you do not see when you don't say ascending or descending, by default it's ascending. Okay. All right, so you got select name and so on, and we including the AS, this keyword, and populations, we have order by, but now we are saying that with a descending. Okay, so once again, copy and paste. Okay, and let me open up my screen a little bit more. Okay, so the zeros at the bottoms now, and let me rerun this command because that was based on my previous screen size. Okay. That's better. So now these zeros are at the end or at the bottom instead of on the top. Okay, so this is in the descending order. Okay, once again, keep this in mind that we are not changing anything in terms of the data in the database or in the tables. We're not changing that. We certainly take the data out of the database or taking the data out of the, take the records, all of the records, from the database, and we arrange them in the memory, computer memory, and then we display the way that we want it. Okay, we are not changing anything in terms of the data. Okay, we simply just playing with how the data gonna displayed. Okay, the next step is step 20. So we're gonna introduce this where this condition, options. So we're gonna where the population is greater than what, 5 million or 50 million? 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 50 millions. Okay, so we only want to see the information from the database. The population is greater than 50 millions. And once again, copy and paste. All right, now we narrowed down a lot of this information now. All right, we're only interesting, and again, in the descending orders. Okay, the China's 1.2 billion, India's 1 billion, and these are all larger than 50 millions. Ukraine has a 50 millions population, just a little bit more than 50 millions. This, I just cannot resist to mention this. Yeah, yesterday I saw on the news that Russian, they are enables the people to serve in the military. So all of a sudden, a lot of people flying out of the Russian right now. Sergio, is that your understanding, Sergio? Is that your understanding what the Russians doing? Do you have a lot of comments on that? I'd love to hear from you.
I don't know.
You know what I'm talking? You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know.
You don't know what I'm talking about? Okay.
I don't know.
Probably that's better. Okay. Probably not to talk about politics here. All right. So once again, that's another way to manipulate the data. Okay. All right, step 21. So we can construct a where class using a number of conditions and operator, and we can use an AND. Okay. So AND is a logical operator. Okay. So we are looking for the population is greater than 50 millions. However, also the population need to be less than 100 million. So we're only looking for between 50 millions and 100 millions. And when you're using AND, the two conditions, one on the right-hand side, one on the left-hand side, they both need to be true. Okay, they both need to be true. The other logical operator is OR. Okay, and then either one side, the left side or the right side, so either one is true, and that will be included in this query. But when we're using AND, both of this has to be true. Okay, so again, I'm simply just copy and paste this and press enter. And now we even narrow down to these populations anywhere between 50 million to 100 millions. Wow, Mexico only have 98 million people. That sounds, 98 million doesn't sound a lot. Mexico is a big country, right?
I don't think that makes sense.
You don't think that makes sense either, right? I think it's, I don't know whether this numbers are, or the population number is correct or not. Okay, so how's everything with your lab? Are you doing this correctly? I will have a little challenge. Let's see what we can do. So query the country table, return a set of records based on the following condition or questions. So which country in the Southern Europe has the population greater than 50 million? Okay, and that's the tips. Okay, so Southern Europe, so the region has to be Southern Euro. Okay, so we have to change the statements a little bit better. No. Okay, so the ways also have to use the AND. AND, this is a logical operator to do this. All right, so for example, they want to be greater than, 50 million. So for example, we're gonna keep this part. The population is greater than 50 million. We're gonna keep this part. And we're gonna keep end, but the population less than 100 million, we're gonna replace that with region equal to Southern Europe. So if you look at this, wait a minute, it's greater than 50 million. So for example, if you just look at this, we have this is Eastern Europe, Southern Europe, Southern Asian, Southern Western. Okay, we don't have one record here. If this is between 50 million and 100 million, Southern, that's Italy. Okay, so let me redo this command. I know they are providing this, region equal to Southern Europe. And once again, I'm kind of lazy and I'm just gonna copy and paste this. Okay, once again, if you look at this commands, where population is greater than 50 million, and the key here is end. And the region equal to Southern Europe. And press enter to run this command. So we don't have Italy. So only Italy in the Southern Europe has more than 50 million of population. What if I change this to or? Okay, so I'm just playing with this. So instead of and, I'm gonna change to or. Wow. So either the population is greater than 50 million, or the region, it is Southern Europe, okay? So either one. If either one is true, and that, they're gonna shows up, okay? So we got a sum of the Southern Europe, and they are only Italy is more than 50 million, the rest is not. Then, or they are more than 50 million, for example, they are Asia and so on. I just, change the end to or, okay? And just to demonstrate the operator, the logical operator, the and or. Okay, are you okay with this? All right, so again, this is still just a very, very simple demonstration about how to using the SQL language. Anybody has any questions about this lab? No? Okay, cool. In that case, we are going to close this lab.